Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Yusuf Abu Laila and this is MEP Made Easy. In this lesson we're going to discuss the plumbing system. We've been discussing the HVAC systems for quite a while. I think it's been 3 lessons now for HVAC. So I thought to just break this with the basics of the plumbing network. We're going to cover the underground water tanks, the water transfer pumps and whatnot. I'm very sorry I could not upload a video yesterday because I was engaged in an emergency in one of our towers, and alhamdulillah we were able to fix it overnight. However, I'm very excited for this video, and see you in the lesson. Hello and welcome to my channel. We're going to discuss today the plumbing system and the plumbing network. It's actually one of the commonly asked questions. Usually I ask in most of my interviews for MEP engineers and supervisors. I ask them to walk me through the plumbing network. Say we have a building that consists of 4 or 5 story. What would be the plumbing network? It's very basic. I made it as simple as possible. Municipality line. So I'm currently living in the United Arab Emirates. Plumbing network here works as follows. We have a DEWA main incomer, Dubai Electric and Water Authority. DEWA main incomer is connected to an underground water tank. As you can see, this is the underground water tank, and this is the main incomer. Now the main incomer is connected inside to a float valve, and the pumps are connected to the main supply line. Okay, the pump pumps water through the main header and feeds the overhead water tank. In this section we're going to discuss whatever is on the screen. In the next section we're going to discuss the overhead water tank. So what actually happens? In reality, the water supply line, the water coming from the DM is supplied through this line, and there is, as I said, just a second, as I said, there is a float valve here that will sense if the water level came up. This should close, and the supply for DEWA water should stop. This is one of the most important components, and it is very critical and very important. This is called a ball valve. So this ball valve is very important because if this fails, you'll have water flooding everywhere. If the DEWA main incomer continues to supply the water tank with the water, and there's no demand, which happens quite often, especially at night, no demand, the water level is rising and the ball valve fails, all the water will, unfortunately, will go through the pump room, and it will damage all the equipment inside the pump room. So if you're working in maintenance, I recommend that every time you're doing a water tank cleaning to just replace this. This is what I think 40 dirhams, 30 dirhams, 40 dirhams. Just replace it. It's not worth the risk. And the components that are situated inside the pump room are far more expensive than 40 dirhams. Anyways, so moving on, if you can see here, there is a separation here. An underground water tank usually is not only for domestic water. It has 2 purposes: the domestic water and to supply the building in case of fire with water. So the underground water tank is also connected to fire pumps, which are not shown here because we're going to discuss this in later videos, inshallah. So again, this separation here is to separate the fire fighting tank from the water supply tank. And why do we have this separation? We have this separation because, as I said, we need to clean this water supply tank. So if we want to clean this water supply tank and this separation is not there, so let's remove this separation and see what will happen. So let's say we don't have the separation in between both tanks. So what will happen is we would like to clean the domestic water tank every 6 months. So we need to empty all of this tank, which is a lot of work. Not only that, but also we need to clean all this part, which is actually not required, which will take a lot of time. And most importantly, when we're cleaning this, this consumes a lot of time, and in that time the building is not covered with any fire protection. So imagine if you completely remove the water, if God forbid any fire happened at that time, you're putting the building in risk. So here, as I said, for the UAE, it is forbidden to empty the water tank without informing the civil defense. So you have to inform the civil defense. So in short, just to why do we need this separation in between? Well, we need this separation to easily clean the water tank. And if you look here on the other side, there's an axis usually for the domestic line, and there's an axis also for the firefighting line. If you look here, this is the bypass, this is the tank bypass line. So what happens is, in normal time, apart from the time of cleaning, this is open, so the level here is equal to the level here. And when we need to clean the domestic water line, we just close this line and let the water be consumed by the people living in the apartments. And once we reach to this just above the transfer pump level, we switch off the pumps and we start cleaning. We bring in submersible pumps to remove the rest of the water inside, and start cleaning the water tank. So this is why we need a separation between both water tanks. Now, moving on to the pump set. This is a configuration of 3 pumps. So basically, there will be 2 duty and 1 standby. In modern pumps, we've seen pumps that have VFDs, pumps that will tell you exactly how much was the running hours. They're all configured together. There's new technology on and on. And about VFDs are variable frequency drives. So they control the input voltage that is going to be given to a motor, and having a VFD will help the pump work at different frequencies. So basically, you can work from 0%. You can work at any working percentage, 0, 1, 2, 3 till 100%. But without a VFD, it's either start or stop. So it saves a lot of money, and it saves a lot of energy wasted on the pump. The lifetime also of the pump becomes also increased because of the VFD. And there's a very, very, very tricky question about VFDs. Do you need a capacitor bank if you install a VFD on all your motors in a site? Now I'll leave you to answer that question, and I'll be answering it in other videos related to electrical engineering. So this is the platform that sits on that the pumps sit on, and this is the line supplying the water to the building. Now, just summing up, this is all this all should be in the basement of, or in the ground level, but usually it's in the basement. Anyways, this is the underground water tank. So the components that we've discussed are the underground water tank, the float valve here. This is a very, very, very important component. As I said, I recommend you change it every 6 months or less. This is the bypass line, and this is the water transfer pump set. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.